evening. Thanks for being here. I'd like to call this meeting to order. This is a regular meeting of the Harlingen Consolidated Independent School District Board of Trustees. This meeting is now 6:37 p.m. This meeting has been posted in accordance with the Open Meetings Act, and we do have a quorum. So at this time, I'd ask you to join me in a moment of silence. Thank you very much. At this time, I'll call Mr. Shane Strubhart, who will guide us on the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you, Mr. President, board members, Dr. Cavazos, administration, and audience. Tonight's pledge will be led by Bruce Guillermo Gonzalez from Stewart Place Elementary. Bruce is a 5th grade student and stays busy by participating in Stewart Place Choir, chess team, and Kids Care Club. Outside of school, he participates in St. Francis Xavier Church Choir, Mad Theater, and most recently in Relay for Life. Bruce has been awarded the Gold Star Character Award and has perfect attendance for the 2015-2016 school year. Bruce loves to read because he loves to learn new and interesting facts about life. Bruce stated, "If you love to read, then you will be successful in anything that you do." Bruce plans to be an entertainer and singer when he grows up. In the evenings, he likes to go swimming and spend time with his family. Joining him this evening are his parents, Jorge and Elizabeth Gonzalez. Ladies and gentlemen, Bruce Guillermo Gonzalez.
Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you, Bruce. I want to know more about that Mad Theater. Sometimes that's what I feel like I do in my regular day job. Thank you for being here, and thank you for the parents as well. With that, we'll move into item 2A, and I'll pass it over to Dr. Arturo Cavazos.
Mr. President, board members, audience, and senior team members, tonight it's with great pleasure that I take a moment to recognize Dr. Nolan Pettis for his service as our board president for the 2015-2016 school year. And so it's appropriate tonight to recognize him and honor him, particularly this year, because he has led us through quite some challenges and some transformational efforts. He's highly invested in maximizing educational opportunities for all students. Dr. Pettis has been a member of the Board of Trustees and an ambassador for our school district since July 2010. And I see his wife in the audience, and really she is a wind beneath his wings. I thought I'd say that, Sandy. Just it's on camera and everything. That's right. Let's give her a hand. She's a and his daughter is here also, Natalie. Thank you for being here, and of course Carmen and so forth. Dr. Pettis exemplifies servant leadership, as he also serves on other boards, including the Texas Lyceum, UT Systems Chancellor's Council Executive Committee, South Texas Medical School Advisory Committee, UT at Austin Development Board, the Lone Star National Bank, Hook for Life Kids Gone Fishing, RGB Lead, Advocacy Alliance Center of Texas, Valley Baptist Medical Center Physician Leadership Council, Medical Director for Platinum Surgery Center, and an expert panelist for the Texas Medical Board. During his tenure as board member, Dr. Pettis has brought invaluable knowledge to the board and district initiatives. He's a strong advocate for our children. He has been an influential contributor to the district's ongoing transformational efforts. During his tenure as president, he led us in the passing of the tax ratification election that has changed the course of this district from bond elections every 10 years to a pay-as-you-go model and pay in today's prices. This moment is bittersweet in that over the past year, we have learned from each other and challenged each other. I think he has challenged, but anyway, let's move on. Dr. Pettis is a true role model and a valued member of our HCISD family. As the founder of RGV Mentors, he realizes the value and the lasting impact a mentor can have on an individual. Dr. Pettis, you are a mentor to so many, including me. I don't know if you truly realize the impact you've had on our schools and the community. We take great pride in knowing what you've done for our students. Our mentor and friend, public education is better because of your service. It's been an honor to serve alongside you as my board president. I thank you for exemplifying what we tag as we are HCISD. Dr. Pettis, we're forever in debt to you for your continuous service, and as you can tell from his resume, this is just one part of his service to the community. Dr. Pettis, we thank you for your service as board president. You have led us with a steady hand, and we're forever grateful. And we do have a gift for you. We're going to multiply what we pay you by 300 tonight, right, board? Now we pay him 0, and those of you that know math, that would be 0, right? And so I do have a token of our appreciation, and I'd like to get a picture in that. It's his own gavel that he can use at home. Just kidding. We will be taking a group picture with the board and his family. But before that, I'd like to pass the mic over to Senator Eddie Lucio, who is also here to honor Dr. Pettis. Senator.
I'm extremely honored to appear before you and make a few remarks and a presentation. Myself and Superintendent Cavazos set the stage describing the leader of the school board, the president, who has led through example. What a joy it is for me to come back when time permitting, because I represent 5 counties and 31 school districts, but I always like to be in the all-American city of Harlingen, Texas. The people here, the mamas and the daddies who are here, along with their sons and daughters, it gives me great joy to see the partnership between the people that all of you represent, and you and the educators who are in charge of educating our children. I was reminiscing, thinking back to 1966, 67, 68, 69, and 70 when I was teaching and coaching in Brownsville, traveling to play Coakley and Vernon and losing most of the time. They had great teams. And then I had my little revenge when they went to Brownsville. We beat them there. But seriously speaking, what a joy, to have met so many wonderful people over the years. Harlingen has a special place in my heart. It really does. I always like to talk about, the greatest game ever played, and that's golf. And I remember the gentleman who gave me my first set of clubs. It wasn't my dad. My dad didn't want me to play golf. It was actually a constable from Harlingen, Texas, by the name of I.J. Galvan. And I never forget him. He was so wonderful, so caring and giving. He heard about this little boy that was a pretty good little golfer in Brownsville, and they brought me a set of clubs. But I could tell you a lot of stories. I'm here today to join with these wonderful people to celebrate their children. when the moment of silence was taking place, the only thing I could think of over and over and over again was asking God to bless our children. Bless our children. I know I repeated it at least 3 times, maybe 4. And I think that's our prayer every day, to be able to do what we can to make a difference to them, no matter what we do, whether we're an elected official, a businessman or woman, a teacher, someone in this community that can take some time to show our children, how much they really care. The greatest joy I had at the beginning of this school year was to stop at Zabala Elementary. The superintendent was there. We saw our breakfast program in action. I was so happy because that was my bill when we extended the lunch program into a breakfast program. I always feel, Ms. Fleurier, that a child cannot learn in an empty stomach. And they were having a nutritious breakfast. I was so happy because that can only lead to learning. So you're doing everything right. I can't tell you how much I appreciate this particular district, district that is being run by men and women of integrity, men and women who care. The pledge, that young man that came up here, it always hits at the heart of who we are in this country because of what the pledge stands for and what it says. We are one country, one nation, under God, indivisible. We need to come together as one nation to make sure that, everyone, there's fair play and that everyone has equal opportunity to succeed. Same thing for Texas. We did our pledge a couple of times. We finally got it right. One state, Texas, under God as well. So I say it out loud. I'm thankful to God for all the blessings He's given us here in the valley and the things we've been able to work together with. George and I have known each other for 3 decades or more. We've been able to experience a lot of wonderful changes. Tonight we're here to celebrate our children's success, but also to recognize, as the superintendent ably said, that our president, who has done an outstanding job, and all of you deserve this gavel that, and you got one already, I'm going to give you a second one. This gavel that stands for leadership, and my definition of leadership is not the ability to tell people what to do. It is actually the ability to make people want to do the right thing through example, which Mr. Powers, Mr. Muñiz, Dr. Muñiz, and Ms. Fleurier, and you, Superintendent George and Javier, all stand for. An example for those that are seeing your daily lives take a good look and follow and imitate and emulate. So tonight, in behalf of the people in my district, I want to present Dr. Nolan Pettis from Harlingen CISD, President, in recognition for his exemplary service to the students of Harlingen Consolidated Independent School District. And I have a state representative that I've known all his life that signed this certificate from the state of Texas with me. He's my son, Eddie Lucia III, which represents this wonderful community as well. And together we want to recognize this outstanding leader. Present you, Mr. President, if you could come up here in front for a second, with his Texas flag, and also let you all know that we have an incredible, great working relationship. I must receive 3, 4 phone calls a week from your president to let me know what the school district here needs at the state level. And I want to take one more because this is the gavel that I'm going to give. And I just want you all to know that you're blessed to have great leaders, not only the doctor, but everyone that sits up there. The doctor will agree with me. We're on the right path. We will be having a legislative workshop later this year to discuss all the issues that are important to all of you, especially to our children. Congratulations. I also brought a picture of my family for him, so he'll know my family. I'm going to tell you the truth. My staff put that in rather than in Brownsville, plastic is prohibited, so I brought him a cup.
So as he makes his way back, he did ask if he continues to preside over the meeting, and the answer is yes. So, so I'm going to turn it back over to the board.
Thank you very much. Did the senator leave yet? I think he must have left. I think he did. They have, oh, yeah. Well, first of all, it's being recorded, so I'll thank Senator Lucy for being here to honor us with his presence. He's a remarkable leader, been so for many decades, and we appreciate all his advocacy on behalf of public students throughout Texas, but especially here in Harlingen. And so it's nice for him to be here. He had to drive to San Antonio tonight, so very nice of him to do that. And I tried to talk him out of it, but anyway, you can't talk the senator out of anything, so you know how that goes. But and before I go on to the most important recognition of our students, because that's what we're going to jump into next, I do want to share with the public how blessed I am to serve in this capacity, just as a board member, much as a president. But I can tell you that it's really humbling to do this, and and for all the students out there, I know we have a lot of them. I want you to know that you guys are next, and we hope that all of y'all in your next endeavor will remember that as you go through your career, your education, and get your degrees, and hopefully many degrees, and we hope that you choose to come back to the Valley, and I hope your parents will join me in that wish as well, and you come back, and we need our next leaders, our next generation of leaders, because we can't do this stuff forever. So trust me, if I can be here, I can do this, and all of us, I can assure you, we'll share this feeling as well. Y'all can do this as well. We just need need you to be vested and remain vested in the community, because that's how you make the community a better place for the next generation. So thank y'all for being here, and that was really nice. And I guess thank you for supporting me. I love you, Sandy. That's it.
Thank you. We would be remiss if we didn't have just one moment for us to be able to reflect on what it's been like to live in the whirlwind of Nolan Pettis. For those of you who know him, you understand to what I'm referring. To those of you who yet yet to have the privilege of knowing Nolan Pettis. I look forward to that on your behalf. This gentleman has an extraordinarily brilliant mind. He lives in the world of excellence. He swims with all the big fish in the big ocean, and he swims better and faster and accomplishes more than any of those with whom he spends every day. It just has been such an extraordinary opportunity to get to know Nolan because he is so exceptional in so many ways. He sleeps perhaps 3 to 4 hours a night. I did check because I was getting worried at some point. But most of all, Nolan leads with a kindness in his soul and a depth in his heart that is extraordinary. And so for that, we thank you most of all, Nolan. Thank you.
Just want to say a couple things real quick about Nolan. Nolan, he's an exemplary leader. And when I think of Nolan, I think of a quote by John Maxwell. It says, "A leader is one who knows the way, who goes the way, and shows the way." And that's what Nolan does. You know, when I was elected, or when I was placed on the board, Nolan went out of his way to come take me under his wing, show me exactly what we're supposed to do, because it can be confusing. There's a lot of information. He sat me down. Nolan, I remember when you sat down with me, and you took time out of your busy schedule, as everybody knows, to say, "This are the things that I didn't know about." You made it clear. You made a clear path, and that's going back to this quote, "and shows the way." I thank you for that, Nolan. Thank you very much for your leadership.
I just want, hello? I just want to echo what other board members have said, and we are so lucky to have Nolan on this board. I mean, Sandy, you're very generous to share this man with not just the district, but with the community and the valley, really. He has so many things that he's involved in, and he does, I don't know how he does it, but everything he does 100%. And he has been such a motivator to our children in our district to provide opportunities for them. He started the Rio Grande Valley Mentors Program. I mean, he's been an innovator in so many ways and has benefited this district. And I'm just so glad that you're a member of this team, that you've done so much for our district. Thank you.
Well, I guess let me jump on the bandwagon, Nolan. I agree with every single one of them. You know, when Nolan first came on the board, everybody was talking highly about Nolan and saying, you know, how hard of a worker he was and how active he was, and half the stuff they were saying, I said, "There's no way in the world anybody can be like that." Well, he is. I don't think I've met anyone that has as much energy as you, Nolan. You make us all look like we're 104 years old. But one of the things I like the most is, thank goodness Nolan wasn't super tall like George. He was someone close to my height, so I really, really enjoyed that one. But Nolan, you've been an inspiration. You've been fantastic. You've been a role model, and it is a privilege to sit next to you on the board. And let me just, thank you very much. And let me just add, thank the family, because without the family, they're the backbone of Nolan. If it wasn't for you all, he wouldn't be up here. So thank you all.
Let me express my appreciation for an extraordinary leader. You know, I realize that it's time for the baby boomers to hand off to the Generation X. I'm the baby boomer, and when I was first elected to the board, I was probably Nolan's age. And quite frankly, being realistic, I said, if we're going to continue to have excellence in our HCISD, we need to begin to look to the future. And the future, obviously, with Nolan Pettis, has really transformed this district to what we want it to be. And I say to the audience, and I see grandparents, I see parents, I see certainly our staff, our teachers, and our youth. The one thing to remember is that we have to come together and realize that we pass the torch. And I can say that as a leader, Nolan Pettis has really, there's no definition for how he leads. There's no definition to what he says, because what he says and how he says and what he does always result in success. And with that, being a really smart guy, he really is, a cerebral guy, but there's a lot of humility about him. The one thing you need to know, he's very humble, that he listens. He's a great communicator, and is a model for the future, whether you're an educator, whatever field you're in. He models that leadership, and that's what we have to remember. He leaves his ego at the door when he comes into this boardroom. And for that, Nolan, we're so proud of what you've done and what you'll continue to do. And I can't say enough for your family. I know what you have to put up with, you know, but I know he's loved, not only by family, but by the community of Harlingen, the state of Texas, and this whole country. So Nolan, we're so proud of you for leading.
Well, now on for the important recognitions of the students. And so with that, and I thank you all very much for the kind words. It's just, anyway, I'm speechless. So let me move on. Item 3A, recognition of Harlingen High School South, and Early College High School top 10 students. Mr. Shane Strubart.
Thank you, Mr. President, board members, Dr. Cavazos, administration, and audience. Tonight, we recognize the great accomplishments of our top 10 students from Harlingen High School South, and Early College High School. Staying the course and never losing sight of their goal, these students have worked very hard to maintain a high academic standing while remaining active in campus organizations. Together, they are examples of HCISD's world-class education and are symbols of excellence for our district. We congratulate these students on their achievements and look forward to seeing them at the district's commencement ceremonies on June 3rd and June 4th. Mr. President, Dr. Cavazos, would you please help us recognize these outstanding students with certificates and DVDs of their top 10 interview with Dr. Cavazos? Real quickly, before we begin, if you are a parent of a top 10 student, I know we have a lot of people standing in the background, you can raise your hand. Would you please stand and be recognized if you are a parent of a top 10 student? The following students are representatives of their campus top 10 for the 2015-2016 school year. Parents, remember the hashtag HCISDProud. Starting with Harlingen High School, valedictorian Israel Isaiah Gonzalez. Our salutatorian, Kennedy Elizabeth Daniel. Alyssa Jane Uribe. Josefina Garza. Alexia Carmona. Darlene Duncan. Jason Alvarado. Do our selfie first. Caitlin Vinson. Elvira Fraga. Marisa Flores. Ladies and gentlemen, these are your Harlingen High School top 10 students. Can we get the board to come together for a group photo? Ms. Mooneyvez, if you're in the audience, would you please join us? These students have a banquet to go to, so they're going to leave right now. Thank you guys for coming. Moving on to Harlingen High School South, our valedictorian, Ryan Mowers. Our salutatorian, Ryan Benavides. Javier Jelston. Cesar Garcia Jr. Mia Aguirre. Anthony Pettis. Paula Wu. Michael Cantu. Sandra Salazar. Leonel Solis Jr. Ladies and gentlemen, these are your Harlingen High School South Top 10 graduates. And now for our early college high school students. Valedictorian Dylan McNutt. Salutatorian Danielle de Bosque. Elisa Chapa. Maria Sanchez. Elise Chapa. Yes, they're twins. Sasha Vargas. Ryan Lita. Samuel Comer. Elia Law. And Brianna Ramirez. Ladies and gentlemen, these are your early college, high school top 10 students. Dr. Flores, could you please come forward?
That was the best of the best. Thank you for being here. We understand if you have to go to a conference or a banquet or you have to leave, but I'm sure the board member have any comments, anything? Mrs. Fleury,
Just that this is one of the most exciting times of the whole year for us. Congratulations, students and parents. This is it. This is the culmination for this part of your career. We are so thrilled about this. Thank you. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Excellent. And with that, we'll move into item 3B, recognition of PTSA Students of the Month for April and May 2016. Mr. Schubart.
Thank you, Mr. President, board members, Dr. Cavazos, administration, and audience. Tonight, HCISD would like to recognize our April and May City Council PTA Students of the Month from Harlingen High School, Harlingen High School South, and Early College High School.
My name is Jason Alvarado. I go to Harlingen High School and I'm a senior. Well, outside of school, I run marathons and I'm a triathlete. I'm also very involved with my church. And then in school, I'm the president of the speech, drum, and debate team. I'm part of the masterminds team here.
I'm Jaden Berslana. I go to Harlingen High School and I'm a senior. Inside school, I'm an NHS, a PTSA officer, and in career preparation. And outside, I'm a competitive dancer for Palm Valley Gymnastics and Dance and a senior company A dancer member.
I'm the officers for a couple of these groups. and that's taught me some leadership quality to be a leader or how to be a leader.
You have to be on time and responsible, and you have to hold your own in order to make your organization run better.
I'm really passionate about cycling. As every opportunity I get to go cycling, I take it. I really just like being out there.
Dance because I've been doing it since I was 2, and I'm dancing every day. And fashion because I'm going to be a fashion student.
I was accepted to Trinity University in San Antonio, so that's where I'll be going, and I'll be studying. I'll be majoring in political science and minoring in economics.
I'm going to attend Wade College, a fashion school in Dallas, and I'm going to major in merchandise marketing. And after I get my bachelor's, I'll go to New York to pursue a career in buying.
My name is Nelly Andrade. I'm a senior at Harlingen High School South. I'm in PTSA Junior Valley Cotillion Club. I'm in NTHS. I'm the vice president, and NHS, and I'm the treasurer of my senior class.
My name is Cesar Garcia. I'm a senior at Harlingen South. Inside of school, I am in National Honor Society. I'm vice president of that club. National Technical Honor Society, where I'm president. Future Business Leaders of America, UIL Math and Science. And outside of school, I serve on the worship team for Cross Church RGV.
I've definitely learned how to be a leader, how to manage time, and how to just be involved with an equal amount of energy and time in each organization and work together as a team.
Through these organizations, I've learned that serving the community and serving others is really a big deal in our society, and that it helps the community grow and we become more unified.
I'm really passionate about fixing situations, finding solutions to problems. My dad has always told me just to find solutions on my own to get ready for real life. So I'm really passionate about that and succeeding.
I'm passionate about community service because I believe that serving others betters not only myself, but betters the community, and just all together we can create a better Harlingen.
So after high school, I plan to attend Mays Business School at Texas A&M University and major in finance.
After graduation, I plan to attend Texas A&M University, where I'll be majoring in mechanical engineering.
My name is Edgar Avalos, and I attend Early College High School. In school, I am in drama, student council, also in robotics and action team. Outside of school, I help out with my church. Some programs that I'm in is Usher and a group called Guadalupanos, and we help out festivals around the school, around the church, and around the community. I've learned that a good team is teamwork. We have to communicate. If one person is mad, we have to either talk it out, not just ignore that person. So we have to hear others' opinions as well. As well as in school, the same teamwork and just dedication to study. Passionate about right now, I guess I could say my studies. Since I was little, my family has always told me, la educación es todo. Nothing can take that away from you, so that's what I plan to do, finish my career and then head on. After college, I would like to attend Corpus Christi, but I'm going to attend Kingsville and become a civil engineer. And then after that, pursue my, I guess, dream of constructing my own house.
I'm Daniel Funk. I attend Harlingen High School, and I'm a senior. I was in football, baseball, National Honor Society, PTSA.
My name is Esteban Vela. I go to Harlingen High School, and I'm a senior. Inside of school, I am in National Honor Society, PTSA. I'm the president of the senior class. I was a volleyball manager. I ran on the flag crew. I played varsity basketball. I am currently a member of the Rotary Club.
I've learned hard work, commitment. Coach Gomez always taught me to finish strong. You know, I got to finish my senior year strong. You know, I'm number 11 in my class. So
from all these organizations, lessons that I've learned would have to include hard work, dedication, commitment. Being in a lot of organizations means that also time management. That's definitely a number one thing that I've learned, because being in all these organizations, you need to learn which needs to come first and what needs to be done.
I'm passionate about sports. I just love that you don't know how the ending's going to come out. Like, it could be either team, or how the underdog could win.
I'm most passionate about my family. Family is always number one to me. I think family needs to be put before everything else. And so being around my family helps a lot, definitely working with these organizations and whatnot.
I'm going to attend the University of Texas in Austin and go in the undergraduate studies.
After graduation, I'm going to attend the University of Texas in Austin, where I will be studying business at Red McComb School of Business.
I'm Socorro Salazar, and I'm a 12th grader here at Harlingen South. I'm at NHS and THS basketball, track, and the Lower Valley Cotillion Club. I'm Aisa Cerda. I go to Harlingen High School South, and I'm 12th grade. In school, I am in Leo Club, STEMS Club, Hawks for Christ, PTSA, and outside I am in by church youth group. I learned that hard work and dedication gets you to where you want to go and to not give up. I've learned to better my community and that anything you do affects everything and everyone around you. So it's best to be on the lookout, just to not ruin anything. I'm passionate about learning and finding new solutions to different problems because it gives me a wider variety and more knowledge of what I learn in these situations. I'm passionate about pursuing my career and becoming a photojournalist because everyone has a story and I want to know their story and I want to tell it to the world. I plan on attending St. Mary's University in San Antonio, and I'm going to major in political science, and on my third year of college, I'm going to apply for their law school there, and I plan to be a lawyer. I plan on attending Our Lady of the Lake University in San Antonio, and I'm going to major in mass communications.
My name is Victoria Oliver. I attend Early College High School, and I'm a senior this year. In school, I'm in NHS, I'm in student council, I'm in ecology, I'm part of the tobacco team, and part of robotics. I learned that we all need to communicate together and we all need to work together to get our projects done on time and to make it, to actually get them done. I'm passionate about music and I'm passionate about math. Math is kind of I don't know, it's kind of like a puzzle, and I love puzzles. But there's something about math that it's just nice, I guess. I'm passionate about music because it helps me concentrate sometimes, and it helps me kind of block everything out. I plan on attending Middle Georgia State University, and I'm going to go into accounting.
I would like to ask if any of these students are present this evening, would you please stand to be recognized? We'd also like to recognize your parents. Parents, please stand. Mr. President, would it be okay if we took a group photo with these students? Students, please come forward with a group photo with the board.
Congratulations, students. Very, very proud of you. And thank you for parents for being here as well. Next, we'll go on to item 3C, recognition of 2016 RGV Livestock Show FFA champions. Mr. Raul Alvarez.
Dr. Pettis, board members, Dr. Cavazos, senior staff, and audience. FFA is one of our district's outstanding K student organization that prides itself in making a positive difference in the lives of students. Through agricultural education, these students develop skills in leadership, personal growth, and career success. This past spring break, following a year of competitions and shows, 9 of our HCISD students, all members of FFA and junior FFA, received the highest recognitions possible at the 2016 RGV Livestock Show in Mercedes, Texas. It would be a privilege if tonight you could please help me in recognizing these students. Dr. Pettis, Dr. Cavazos, would you please come forward? Students, if you're in the audience, please come up when your name is called. From Harlingen High School, Kennedy Boykin. She received Champion of the Edible Plant Division, Hampshire Breed Champion, and Grand Champion Market Hog Division. From Harlingen High School South, Brooklyn Garizales. She may be absent today. She received a reserve champion and grand champion in breeding heifer division. From Harlingen High School South, Daniel Castillo. Mr. Castillo is a reserve champion and grand champion showmanship market lamb division. From Gutierrez Middle School, Trent Gilbert. Mr. Gilbert is the dark crossbreed champion market hog division and the reserve champion dark breed breeding gilt division. From Bella Middle School, Zachary Gray. Mr. Gray is a grand champion in the photography division. From Harlingen High School, Luis Juarez. He may be absent. He is a Santa Gertrudis Breeder Association Junior Showmanship Champion. From Harlingen High School, Crystal Lucio. Miss Lucio is the reserve champion in the foliage plant division. From Stewart Place Elementary, Kylie Mitchell. She may be absent. Reserve champion breeding lamb division. And also from Stewart Place Elementary, Madeline Milano. Miss Milano is the dark other pure breeds champion for the market hog division. I would also like to take a moment to also recognize our outstanding teachers who are always going above and beyond what is asked of them. Harlingen High School Ag teachers Ashley Guerra and Carrie Cash. And Harlingen High School South Ag teachers Roxy Salinas and Omar Gonzalez. The strength of this organization is in its support by parents and peers. I would also like to take a moment to recognize any FFA, junior FFA parents and students who are here in the audience tonight. Can you please stand to be recognized? Board members, Dr. Pettis, Dr. Basso, it would be an honor if you would post pictures with each of you. Teachers, please come forward. We'd love to have you in pictures also.
Really proud of our FFA success. I think Mr. Powers has a couple of comments.
I'd like to just say a few things to about our ag program. Can you all hear me? Okay.
Yes.
I don't know, a lot of people in the community realize the advances that this ag program has made over the years. And I mean, I'm really glad to see us recognize these kids tonight. This is a wonderful, wonderful program. I've been going every year to their final ceremonies, and a lot of people don't realize it unless you're involved, that this program builds leadership. It builds character. They learn a lot in this program about responsibility and being leaders and how to run a business, how to run a farm, how to learn about all different types of things, business and not just agriculture. But I want to thank the parents, because I know that this program, it's not just an 8 to 5 program. These parents go out there every evening, every morning with these kids to work with these animals. And the teachers, y'all are phenomenal. I mean, you talk about workhorses. They go out of town for shows. They go out every night to help these kids with these animals, help teach them how to groom them, how to prepare them for the shows. And it's just a really wonderful program. And this, every year, Harlingen does well. We had a lot of grand champions this year. Last year we had grand champions. And it's a credit to what you all are doing out there. And I want to thank you all.
Mr. Bashan?
Thank you, Mr. President. I would be remiss if I would not chime in. A lot of you all may not know, but when you see me, you think of a person who wouldn't get his hands dirty. I would not really fit the mold. Let you on a secret. I really grew up in agriculture. My first degree is in agriculture education. You didn't know that, did you? But let me say this to you. I pay tribute to my leadership, my knowledge and skills to the FFA program. I was fortunate to be very involved, so I know Robert's Rules of Order very well. I know parliamentary procedure very well. I did public speaking very well. All those things happened while I was in junior high and high school and carried on to college. So I want to say to you, this is certainly a career technology education program that has a history of building character, leadership, and responsibility and accountability, because you have to deal with certainly the animal science, the plant science, the soil science, and every aspect of what we do as an individual. So I want to pay tribute to the FFA program, in particular in 2010 when we passed the bond issue of $98.6 million. We were able to build an agricultural complex. And I would urge you to go out and visit it sometime, because we have now the capacity and infrastructure to do world-class type training in the field of agriculture. So it's special to me, and I just want people to know, because normally you think of agriculture, you think of, well, you know what you think of, right? Farmers, which is great. You think of fitness and wellness and all those things. Without that, we would not be able to be what we are, obviously. But I want to say to the parents, to the community, agriculture community, to our teachers, to our administration, and certainly to the board for supporting this program. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And with that, we'll move to item 3D, recognition of 2015-2016 HCISD Teachers of the Year. Mr. Shane Strubart.
Thank you, Mr. President, board members, Dr. Cavazos, administration, and audience. At HCISD, we have the finest teachers impacting the lives of nearly 19,000 students each and every day. Tonight, it gives us great honor to recognize 29 of HCISD's very best from our 17 elementary and 12 secondary campuses. The Teacher of the Year Award is given to educators who continue to go above and beyond and work towards preparing our students for global achievement. Two of the teachers we're going to recognize this evening have a great degree of responsibility, as they will represent our entire district at the regional level in the elementary and secondary categories. Mr. President, Dr. Cavazos, would you please come forward to help us recognize these outstanding educators with certificates and very special pins. Teachers, raise your hand if you had one of the students that were recognized tonight. And if there are any parents of these teachers, would you please stand? No. All right. Okay. So they didn't bring the parents with them. I don't know why. All right. Hey, we got one. There we go. All right. Beginning with our Elementary Teachers of the Year. From Austin Elementary, Irene Garcia. From Bottom Elementary, Yolanda Martinez. From Bowie Elementary, Cynthia Cigarroa. From Crockett Elementary, Rebecca Flores. From Disherman Elementary, Claudia Pompa. From Houston Elementary, Christine Claudio. From Jefferson Elementary, Stephanie Quinones. From Lamar Elementary, Linda Galpin. From Lee Means Elementary, Jessica Ariano. From Long Elementary, Ivan Ayala. From Milam Elementary, Andres Longoria. From Rodriguez Elementary, Jennifer Ann Mathis. From Stewart Place Elementary, Cynthia Quintana. From Travis Elementary, Lorena Rodriguez. From Wilson Elementary, Yesenia Marquez. From Zabala Elementary, Sofia De La Garza. And now, representing her campus as well as our entire district as the 2016-2017 District Elementary Teacher of the Year from Treasure Hills Elementary, Miss Julie Garcia. Ms. Garcia takes pride in having the opportunity to shine a light on all of the best practices that are taking place in our district. Sharing in HCISD's vision of preparing students with 21st century skills, she pushes herself to stay ahead of current trends in education to provide her students with rich and meaningful learning experiences. As a digital classroom teacher, Ms. Garcia strives to provide meaningful learning experiences for her students by integrating technology into her lessons and pushing her students beyond the recall of facts to create and analyze products to demonstrate mastery and understanding. Congratulations to all of our elementary teachers of the year. Board, you'd like to come forward for a group photo. Congratulations. Don't go away. Don't go away. Moving on to our secondary campuses. From Coakley Middle School, Belinda Duran. From Gutierrez Middle School, Pamela Briones. From Memorial Middle School, Alvaro Mora. From Bella Middle School, Celinda Foster. From Vernon Middle School, Janet Solis. From Harlingen High School, Tasha Neese. From Harlingen High School South, Javier Hernandez. From Early College High School, Jesus Gonzalez. From Harlingen School of Health Professions, Alvaro Perales. From Keys Academy, Yvonne Cavazos. No relation. From the Secondary Alternative Center, Raven Masker. Photoshop. Well, 100% attendance on these teachers tonight. That's great examples for our students. All right, so representing his campus as well as our entire district as the 2016-2017 District Secondary Teacher of the Year from Dr. Abraham P. Connell Freshman Academy, Mr. Elifonso Esquivel III. Coming from a family of educators, Mr. Esquivel learned early on the value of dedication, determination, and discipline. Helping others at a young age was his way of teaching as he led by example. Now, as a teacher at Connell Academy, he leads the way for teachers and department chairs alike, playing a vital role in implementing innovative teaching strategies and methods at his campus. Congratulations to all of our Secondary Teachers of the Year. Trustees, can we get all the trustees down for a group photo?
Thank you all very much. This is a tradition that Dr. Cavazos started last year. I think it's a great one. And I'm sure the board will have some comments, but just momentarily, I'll tell you that, before we did that, obviously, it was all about the students and the top 10 students, and that was the second year, I believe, in a row we've done the honor the top 10 at the board meetings. And so I just want to, recognize the teachers, because without y'all, they wouldn't be here. Y'all inspire them every day, and of course, not just them, but all students. But I know that the top 10 students wouldn't be here if it were not for the inspiration and all the things, great lessons and wisdom that you pass on to them. And also take another moment to share that. And I often tell this to kids, to students, is that I was inspired by a student. I wouldn't be a doctor today if it wasn't for a teacher. And in fact, teachers make all other professions possible. Think about that. They make everything possible. Without them, we couldn't have any profession. And so thank you all for what you do, and congratulations. And you all make us very proud and reflect great credit on this community and on the school district. So with that, Mrs. Fleury.
Congratulations to our teachers. We are so excited and so proud of you. And as far as we're concerned, every single one of you could represent us very, very well, not just in the region, but in the state and throughout the country. I also want to thank the principals who are here, because that shows a tremendous amount of support that they have for you. And I know that you know that in your hearts, but isn't it nice to see it? So thank you, principals, for being here to support your teachers, and thank you, teachers, for loving and caring for our children and teaching them every day. Thank you.
Certainly, teachers, you give us an opportunity to do the photo shoot. You give us an opportunity to boast about how great our school district is. The superintendent, you see him all the time. You see board members. But the truth of the matter is, teachers really, really matter. And this board takes that to heart. We really appreciate what you do. And I guess we have to show something, right? They say you appreciate what you do, Dr. Pettis. We might have to do something about that. And I think we will. Again, we are proud of you. Sincerely, what you do is very positive, but it's very stressful. We know what you deal with every child, making sure they reach his or her fullest potential. We understand that. We appreciate that. We're so proud of you. Congratulations.
Mr. De Leon.
I just want to add what my respected colleagues said. And, we talk about transformation. We're talking about changing the scope of curriculum and education. And it's easy to say, but the ones that are doing all the work are the ones sitting out in the audience, the teachers, the administrators. So people don't realize all the hard work that teachers put out. You all work at 7 o'clock in the morning getting ready for class. You after school, you're still in the classrooms till 6, 7 o'clock in the evening. Then you go home, and then you're still doing lesson plans. On top of that, in the weekend, you're spending your own money for the kids' activities and supplies that, for some reason, we don't have enough money to give some of the, that's a different story. We'll move on to that. We're working on that too, right, board? But we do appreciate everything that you do. If it wasn't for each and every one of you, and it's not just rhetoric, it's not just words, it's just not fluff, it really is sincere in the way the board thinks about each and every one of you. We're your biggest cheerleader, we're your biggest supporters, and when the superintendent and the administrative staff comes in and says, we have an idea, we have a suggestion that we can take this district to another level, we definitely listen, and each and every one of these administrators, what they say is, we're not going to ever put anything in front of the teachers, in front of the rest of the staff, if we don't think they can handle it, and we're not going to give them the sword and shield to be able to compete out there. And so whatever you're needing in the district, whatever the supplies you need, please get with your principals, please get with your administrators, because what we don't want to do ever is never able to make an impact on a child because of a lack of resource or a lack of opportunity. Please reach out to your principals. They're your eyes and your ears, and they're your best representatives. So then, again, thank each and every one of you for what you do. And what we're doing today is still not enough. It's not even an inch of what you're worth, but at least it's a start. So thank you, God bless, and keep up the great work, because if it wasn't for you, the kids wouldn't be learning. So thank you very much.
Dr. Moniz.
We can't forget why we're here as a board, and it's because of the students. And without you, the teachers that are doing an amazing job, our students wouldn't be anywhere. We're just as good as you. You'd be our weakest link, right? So you guys continue to be successful. You guys continue to do your best. And you know, my mother was a teacher, so I just like Javier was talking about, I saw the sacrifices. You know, waking up early, doing those lessons plans. I remember going to bed early, and she was still up, you know, doing grades and doing checking homework. And there was a big sacrifice. I said, why? Why? Well, she loved it. And it's clear that you guys love what you do. It's clear that you love your students. And we really appreciate that. We really appreciate the impact you make. And don't ever underestimate those small words that you talk when you're talking to your students. They are hanging on to those words. You can make them, you can break them. And I know you guys make them every day. So thank you very much.
Powers.
I just want to add that, you know, you've heard for years that our youth and our children are the future. But what people many times don't realize is that it's the teachers who shape the youth. It's the teachers that mold them, that teach them the character and the principles to become our future and our leaders. And I want to thank you all for all you do. This district has outstanding teachers. Last year, this district was put up as School District of the Year for the state of Texas. And the principal reason was because of you all. You all are the ones that have the performance that makes us look good. And I want to thank you for that also. So, you know, we have, Dr. Cavazos will tell you that there are people from all over the valley that want to come work here, and it's because of the standards that you all set. And that's why it's a great school district, but you guys are the wheels that make it go. Thank you so much.
So we know that we're right in the middle of STAR test, and that's what the look is. Are we done? We have social awareness, but let's move on. 29 teachers representing 1,500 teachers in HCISD. You are the role models. You have been put forth by your very staff and your teachers and your colleagues. I thank you as a superintendent on behalf of all the administration and the staff in Harlingen. We know that your efforts have the handprints on our kids' generations hereafter. And those handprints are also in their hearts. And so you make the difference of whether they will be a productive citizen or not. And so we realize that we stand in the shoulders of our 1,500 teachers. And so tonight, it's a token of our appreciation. But keep in mind that you represent our entire teaching staff and teaching assistant staff. We thank you. You make the difference. We know that your commitment is unwavering, and we as a district and as a state and as a nation can never pay you enough for the work you do. You and everyone that is successful is as a result of the teachers that they've had along the way. Keep being a champion for public education. Keep doing the right thing, and thank you for advancing our HCISD brand. We're forever grateful. Thank you.
And at this time, I'll ask Ms. Leanne Ince and Shane Strubart to make their way forward for a special recognition of Dr. Arturo Cavazos, recipient of the National Speech and Debate Association Gulf Coast Communicator of the Year Award.
Mr. President, board members, Dr. Cavazos, administration, and audience, representing the Gulf Coast National Speech and Debate Association and presenting a special award to the best superintendent in the nation, Dr. Arturo Cavazos, is Harlingen South Speech Drama Debate leader, Ms. Leannis.
Thank you. I'm truly honored to present the following award. The National Speech and Debate Association is the largest and oldest academic honor society in the nation. And each year, they recognize individuals who have used their speech and debate talent to profoundly impact the lives of others. And I can tell you firsthand that this year's recipient, has done this ever since I've known him. He has been a tireless advocate for the speech and debate programs for HCISD. Furthermore, he has used his public speaking skills to communicate HCISD's vision throughout the community, state, and nation. He is truly one of the best, and I am honored to recognize our very own Dr. Arturo Cavazos as the National Speech and Debate Association Gulf Coast Communicator of the Year.
I think that deserves a speech, Doc.
Oh, no.
Don't you have to say a speech after that kind of award? Anyway,
Thank you.
Okay, actually, we're going to skip to item 8A, if you don't mind. We have some students that need to go home, have to study and get ready for their testing. So item 8A, approval of out-of-state trip for Harlingen High School Texas Association of Future Educators student to attend the National Leadership Conference and Competition in Boston, Massachusetts on June 24th and 28th, 2016. Mrs. Teresa Cuellar.
Hello. Good evening, Dr. Cavazos, Dr. Pettis, members of the board and superintendent staff. Let me introduce Samantha Gutierrez. She's one of my students at Harlingen High School and a member of the Taffy Club, which stands for Texas Association of Future Educators. In February, Samantha competed at the University of Houston, and she competed in the lesson plan and humanities competition. In this event, Samantha developed an English lesson plan for kindergarten students. She also had to submit a video tape of herself conducting the lesson with a class, and Milam Elementary allowed her to do that with the kindergarten class. There was well over 50 contestants in the event she competed in, and Samantha represented our school district proudly, placing third. We are requesting permission to travel out of state to compete at the national competition in Boston, Massachusetts on June 24th to June 25th. And do y'all have any questions for us?
So move, I can't do that, I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. Is any, do I hear a motion?
Mr. President, with pride, I move approval of the out-of-state trip for Harlingen High School Texas Association of Future Educators student to attend the National Leadership Conference and Competition in one of the great cities of the world in Boston, Massachusetts on June 24th to 28th this year.
Motion by Mrs. Fleury, second by Mr. Darion. Any further discussion? Hear none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously. Congratulations and good luck.
Boston,
Thank you.
Massachusetts.
Thank you. And we hope to see you all at our prom next week. You all got an invitation, I hope. The club fundraises all year so that they can have this club for our special kids on Tuesday afternoon. So hope to see you there.
Mr. President, can we take a group photo real quick?
Absolutely.
Thank you for the photo, Dr. Pettis. We're going to use that to recognize these outstanding programs.
Okay, with that, item 8B, approval of out-of-state trip for the Harlingen High School Speech Drama Debate Team to attend the National Speech and Debate Association National Tournament in Salt Lake City, Utah on June 11th to 18th, 2016. Tasha Neese.
Mr. President, board members, Dr. Cavazos, and administrative staff, in 3 short years, Harlingen High School has developed an elite name in speech and debate locally, nationally, and tonight we're asking permission to travel to the National Speech and Debate Association tournament where we've had 4 students qualify. In 3 very, very short years, we have claimed multiple district champions. This year earned the 32 6A regional title in informative speaking with a sophomore. We've been competitively fighting in out rounds at the state level, and most recently was placed among the top 12 at the National Tournament of Champions, which is the elite of the elite. And to this, we want to take this opportunity to thank the board for always advocating and supporting for speech and debate and the power that it has in the lives of our students and our community. And I can tell you, the impact that these students are having is going far beyond my classroom at Harlingen High School as they speak up and they speak out and they speak loudly. We also want to thank the administration at Harlingen High School because they've truly created an avenue for champions to be champions, and they surely have done that. So the 4 students that have qualified to attend the national meet are Grant Burbach, who's here with us tonight, who placed first in Lincoln Douglas debate. Brandon Solis, who placed first in original oratory speaking. Juan Alvarez, who earned a spot on the World School Debate Team. This is Juan's second year to attend the national tournament in this event, and last year he debated students from all over the world. So it truly is a worldwide event. And the last student is Emily Ornelas, who's at another banquet tonight, who placed in dramatic interpretation. So we're really proud of these 4 students. And we want to ask permission to travel to Salt Lake City, Utah to attend the tournament and continue to carry on that Cardinal pride and make a name for Harlingen High speech and debate as we've done so well. And the tournament is in June from the 11th to the 18th. And upon your approval, we look forward to going.
nay. Motion carries unanimously. Congratulations. Best of luck to you all. Let's take a picture. Let's take a picture. What color? Oh, those, yes. Here's. Okay, next I'll ask Ms. Leanne Ince and Julia Wise to come forward, please. Next item, 8C, approval of out-of-state trip for the Harlingen High School South Speech Drama Debate Team to attend the National Speech and Debate Association National Tournament in Salt Lake City, Utah on June 11th to 18th, 2016. Mr. Schubart, do you want to introduce or no?
Okay.
Okay, go.
Okay.
Okay.
Dr. Pettis, board members, Dr. Cavazos, superintendent, staff, and audience, we also would like to thank you for your support as we continue our tradition of excellence at Harlingen South. I was trying to do the math in my head, and I believe this is our 22nd consecutive year to qualify students for the National Speech and Debate Association National Finals. I might be wrong, I'm not a math person, but we too are seeking your approval to compete at this prestigious national tournament in Salt Lake City along with Harlingen High School, our sister school. We're so proud of them as well. And we would like to take this time to recognize our 9 student qualifiers. We have quite a group going with us this year.
Recognizing freshman John Duncan, who qualified in original oratory. Sophomore Christopher Smith, who qualified in extemporaneous speaking, US. Sophomore Savannah Smith, qualifying in humorous interpretation. Senior Sawyer Warrenberg, qualifying in dramatic interpretation. Junior Jaime Gomez, qualifying in program oral interpretation. Sophomore James Gracia and senior Enrique Cantu, qualifying in duo interpretation.
Could not be with us.
And then the team of Jessica Durant Jr. and senior Matthew Cannon, also qualifying in duo interpretation. Moreover, Matthew Cannon, he is currently placed first in the Gulf Coast District, third in the state of Texas out of 8,873, and in the nation out of 72,680, he is placed sixth. So we are very proud of him.
Matthew was also selected as the Gulf Coast District Student of the Year, so we're really proud of that, as well as taking the, I don't know, where are the awards? Did we take the sweepstakes and the, does that say overall? And the overall sweepstakes award, so these kids really brought it home.
So again, we ask your approval to travel out of state to Salt Lake City, Utah, in June.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion, and while I'm making the motion, see what grade I get on the drama part to see if I'm kind of.
We'll rank you. We'll take it
Okay,
easy.
right. But be kind, please. But I make a motion of approval of the out-of-state trip for the Harlingen High School South Speech Drama Debate Team to attend the National Speech and Debate Associate National Tournament. Go slower now, sir. In Salt Lake City, Utah, on June 11th through the 18th, 2016. Make a motion for approval.
Motion by Mr.
I
Leon.
second.
Second by Mr. Powers. Any further discussion?
Just to say, we'll get you your pins too if you want to wear pins from the district.
Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah.
And I guess, Mr. President, if it didn't motion, I guess they would debate with us anyway, so go ahead.
I won't debate me. I'll paper, rock, scissors with you. I'm not going to debate you. I can tell you that for sure. I can tell you that. I can tell you that for sure. Okay, so we have a motion on the table. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously. Congratulations. Best luck to you all.
Super
Thank
nice.
you. Let's take a picture.
Oh, that's cool. Here, I think.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. And one last one, if we could have Marie Garza and Marcos Almanza come forward. That's item 8D, approval of out-of-state trip for Harlingen High School South Latin Club to attend the National Junior Classical League competition in Bloomington, Indiana on July 25th to 30th, 2016.
Good evening, President of the Board, Dr. Pettis, Dr. Cavazos, Board of Trustees, Superintendent staff, good evening. My students at this time would like to say something to you in Latin.
Say it again.
Salvete omnis, which means good evening all. On April 22nd and 23rd, the Harlingen High School South Latin students attended for the first time the Texas State Junior Classical League state competition in Houston, Texas. I would also like to add that it's the first time in the history of this Valley School to have gone to this competition. The South team has 20. The South team team has 23 registered and active members in Area B of the State League alongside the San Antonio schools. The reason why is because there is no school here south of San Antonio. So they put us with the San Antonio teams. This year, our team competed in the area competition and advanced 15 students to the state competition in Houston. Our students competed in academic, arts, and the Olympica events with over 1,500 high school students from across the state of Texas. We currently have 9 the students that have qualified to attend and compete at the National Junior Classical League competition to be held at Indiana State University in Bloomington, Indiana on July 25th and 30th. And the students are in advanced grammar, senior Cari Lamote. She also is a gold medalist in the pentathlon. Roman history, senior Cassandra Rubio. Magna cum laude, silver medal in pentathlon. In Latin derivatives, junior Jaylene Gonzalez. Magna cum laude, silver medal in pentathlon. Sight recitation, senior Jose Gutierrez. He couldn't be here, but he apologizes. He had to work. Cum laude in pentathlon and sight recitation. Latin literature, junior Gemma Uzo. Cum laude in pentathlon. Classical art history, senior Cesar Chavez. Roman monochromatic drawing, senior Isabel Morales. She couldn't be here because she had to be with her grandmother, who is ill. In ancient geography and civilization, senior Margarita Haro, cum laude, pentathlon. Mythology, senior Mia Aguirre, cum laude, pentathlon. I also would like to recognize 2 other students that were award recipients. In motors, senior Javier Lopez, cum laude, pentathlon. And in reading comprehension, senior Ashley Galvan, cum laude, in pentathlon. As you can see, I took 15, we went 15 students and 9 of them placed. There were 1,500 students, and we competed with schools like Westlake, Round Rock, Highland Park, Plano, Westlake, San Antonio schools, Antonian, Tom C. Clark, Reagan, and these kids did not get intimidated at all. And so I'm so very proud of them. I also would like to add that they're only been students for 1 year. And this is just so amazing because it's a hard thing. Latin is not easy. It's an inflected language, and they know that. And they have to know where every word goes and why it goes there, and it's very hard. But all these students have done a tremendous job, and I'm so proud of them. And at this time, I would like to request permission for them to represent Harlingen High School South and HCISD with a very elite group of students. 1,800 students will be in Indiana competing from the nation and from Australia, Canada. And I would like to ask for this permission.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion of approval for the out-of-state trip for Harlingen High School South Latin Club to attend the National Junior Classical League competition in Bloomington, Indiana on July 25th to 30th.
Motion by Dr. Muniz. Second by Mr. McChant. Any further discussion? Here now, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously. Mrs. Torre, do you have?
I do want to say something. I cannot tell you all what a dream come true. The classics. You're
Yes,
going to
ma'am.
a classical competition. This is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. You know, we haven't had Latin here since I was a child in Harlingen.
I was told that by one of the old teachers.
That's
I'm sorry,
absolutely
I didn't
correct.
mean-
Yeah.
I'm old too.
No, it's absolutely correct. It
We'll
was
edit it, don't worry.
No,
Mary.
no, it actually predated my time. It actually did.
I
So
meant,
you've done a wonderful
older.
thing. Yeah, we're just so excited and proud. You know, I think of you know the way to identify the greatest of the educated people in the past was to call them Renaissance men and women. And that's what you're going to be, Renaissance men and women, because you're studying the classics. I am so proud of you.
Thank
and
you.
so proud of this district. I want to see, I cannot wait to see this on every campus, you know,
Thank you.
and to see the years go by. And you know, we had just before you an example of a long-standing program that Leanne Ince has created and just taken, you know, to the soaring heights. And so now in the last 3 years, we've introduced and taken it to a different level at Harlingen High School. That is what I yearn to see with what you are doing.
Thank you.
And I'm just so proud of you. This is an extraordinary accomplishment. The classics, you're going to do the classics, our Renaissance men and women. So proud of you. You represent us well just by going. So congratulations.
Thank
Have a
you.
wonderful time. Please tell us all about it when you get back.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Shout out to your Renaissance man leader, your principal over there, Fernando Reyes, for being here. Thank you.
I would just to add a little
Yes, ma'am.
something. I would like to take this opportunity also to thank Mr. Reyes, the administration of Harlingen High School South, the Board of Trustees, the administration of HCISD, Dr. Yola, for listening to me last year. Yeah. Without her permission, we wouldn't have had a class. And so I wanted to mention that. Mr. Reyes for being very supportive and to helping us go to Houston. And I just know that these kids are going to do wonderful over there because they didn't get intimidated in Houston. They're not going to get intimidated there either. And
May I say one more thing?
You'll see to that.
Yeah. May I say one more thing,
Yes, ma'am.
please? And that is to just to take to take the words of our president, Dr. Pettis, and talk about the difference that teachers make as well. All of you students being in a new program, realize that with all of your intelligence and all of your energy and all of your dedication, if you had not had the teachers to teach you, if this would never have happened. This would never have happened. So thank you so much for your leadership as educators, and thank you students for soaking it up, our Renaissance
And
people.
also, Ms. Garza, former teacher of the year as well.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right.
That's
She
right.
was.
thank you.
2014.
Thank you.
Shane,
We
are
don't
we
forget.
gonna
We
take a
don't
picture
forget.
with them?
No, thank you.
Yes, we did actually already vote on it, so we can vote again. But I'll do it again. We had a motion on the table. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Congratulations. Picture time. Okay, we're now going to go back to item 4A. Thank you all very much. We're going to go back to item 4A, approval of the April 12, 2016 regular board meeting minutes.
Mr. President, I move that the minutes for that meeting be approved as submitted.
I second the motion.
Motion by Mr. Powers, second by Dr. Muniz. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Item 4B, approval of the May 3rd, 2016 special board meeting minutes.
Mr. President, I move that the May 3rd special board meeting minutes be approved as submitted.
Second the motion.
Motion by Mr. Powers, second by Dr. Muniz. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. At this time, we'll go into the approval of the consent calendar. Item 5.
President, I move approval of the consent calendar.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Rashan, second by Mr. Powers. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. At this time, we will, he's been patiently waiting, Mr. Stavely. Sorry. I'll ask Mr. Stavely to come forward, our principal at Stewart Place, for our principal's report. You got a huge fan club still.
Got to say it in Latin, Bill. You got to say it in Latin.
Dr. Cavazos, members of the board, I want to talk a little bit tonight about a project that we've started. But as with any project, you sometimes have a vision, and then there's people that do a phenomenal job of putting that project together. They have been patiently waiting tonight for me to introduce them, and they didn't know I was going to introduce them. But Ms. Juarez and Ms. Sanchez, can you please stand? Everything you see tonight was an idea until they put something together, and they did an amazing job. We started a project this year piggybacking some of the success that we saw at Harlingen South with 4 students being selected into the Ivy League program. And we sought to make a project that would help our 5th graders put together community service hours and portfolios in such a manner that they could be accepted into any school in the United States, and then they would be able to choose which school was the best fit for them. And so also joining me here tonight are some of the principals that participated with us. Mr. Reyes, Mr. Gonzalez, and Ms. Bauer also helped us. Appreciate it. And way at the back, probably hoping I don't recognize him, but Mr. Floyd helped me with all my technology issues putting it together. So at this time, I'm going to play a little video. Hopefully it works. And then I will explain more of the project here in a little.
It was the idea of our principal, Mr. William Snavely, and what he wanted to do is to incorporate the college idea of not just attending college, but also moving out of the Rio Grande Valley area and going forward to out-of-state colleges as well, such as the Ivy Leagues. And so we have incorporated it for our students, 4th grade and 5th grade students, so that they can become more aware about colleges and what they will be needing in order to attend college, such as preparing for their grades to make sure that they have good GPAs, and then also bringing in presenters from our campuses, such as Mrs. Bauer from the 9th grade academy, and then also middle school years as well, and what they need to do to be prepared for ultimately their high school years of experience. And then of course ultimately going to college and preparing for their college years so that they can go ahead and be successful and not just go into college unprepared, but to be prepared ultimately for their full 4 years of their university life. Well, they've shown a lot of interest. They are attending nightly meetings that we are having 1 time a month. On top of that, we are also doing service projects with Kids Care Club and also our GT program. They are doing different service programs, such as we did the beach cleanup just this past weekend, and the kids really enjoyed that. And so they will be having those hours, those volunteer hours that will be going towards their volunteer hours. And as long as they continue doing that, that's going to add on each and every school year for them to go ahead and ultimately have many hours of volunteer hours that will look great in their portfolio when they do decide to apply for a university. I think that their mindset has really changed because they know that it's not just about elementary and middle school and high school. They're really looking at the long term, what they want to become when they eventually grow up. So we're not just preparing them to get to college, but also career-based as well, what they want to become in their future.
We've invited parents who have children that have attended Ivy League colleges, as well as principals from the schools that our school feeds into. The students have really enjoyed it. They've learned a lot also because I've heard them talk about how interesting the speakers were, as well as parents. Their parents have approached me and told me, thanked me actually for bringing them in, because now the kids are excited about going to their schools. Part of my GT curriculum, I have to involve real type scenarios, and this has worked perfectly because now they are interested, and even the terminology I hear them using in the classroom, you can see that they're excited and have learned a lot. Right now we have the 5th grade GT students that started the program, and we've included the 4th grade kids of character because they will be participating next year.
There's this thing called a portfolio where you take your time and you do service work. We did the beach cleanup at South Padre Island. We were in teams and we had to write down what we found. It makes me want to pick up my grades more for college. I'm thinking about going to Harvard. I would like to be a nurse.
I didn't know that there was so many. I just thought there were a few in Texas. I'm most interested in Brown University. My tia went there and I want to follow in her footsteps. Well, being in an Ivy project means it helps you accomplish goals, help the community, and learn about colleges that maybe you might go to one day. This gets you ready for college and helps you get prepared. This also helps you make an online portfolio so that you could keep to apply for college and gives you a better chance of getting in a college. This also helps you make a difference and shows people who you really are. We're only in 5th grade, but this is going to help us be more mature and prepared for the future. Like I always say, the greatest things in life are never easy.
Okay, so what is the Ivy Project? Well, the first thing, we're just going to show you these shirts. Ms. Juarez did a fantastic job. Since she knew she was going to be taking kids in the community, we wanted something bright where she could spot them a mile away should they get lost. So we ran the words Ivy Project down, and it has all the 8 Ivy League schools in there. The concept was simply the Ivy Project was designed to prepare our students to become competitive enough to be accepted into any university, and then they would choose the school that best fit them amongst the many choices. This summer, when I took my son on a college tour, we went to a couple of big schools that he'd been accepted into, and he almost had a panic attack. They were not the right school for him. When we walked on the campus of the University of Mary Hardin Baylor, he said, "Dad, this feels like home." And I told him, "Isn't it nice that you were accepted into these schools and you got to pick which one you wanted to go to rather than them telling you which one you could go to?" The Ivy Project was inspired by the success of Harlingen High School South. In the 2014-2015 school year, as 4 South graduates were accepted into Ivy League schools. There are 3 building blocks of the Ivy Project. Number 1 is building community. We were noticing that our children thought that elementary, middle, Connell Freshman Academy, and South were 4 distinct different parts of their education instead of one continuous journey. And so we wanted them to become more familiar with the things that were awaiting them. And that's where the principals did such a great job of taking their time and coming and making our children more familiar with what was going to be awaiting them. Creating a roadmap for success, we wanted them to see people that had actually gone through the process and what it took, and educate the parents as to what it would take to apply for an Ivy League school or a Baylor or Texas A&M or University of Texas or Stanford or anything. We also, in the Global Design Team Committee, we are looking at electronic portfolios coming in the future at the 9th grade, possibly the 8th grade. We wanted our students ready for that because we know that they're going to be going into that. And so Ms. Juarez and also Mr. Floyd have been great about finding avenues for our students to be saving items now that they can put into those electronic portfolios later. Building community was the first step. It was created to assist our students become more familiar and more comfortable with the feeder process. I want my students to feel very comfortable going to Vela Cano Freshman Academy, Harlingen South. I want them to understand that there are people that are awaiting you there that are going to help you accomplish your dreams, and that dream can start as early as the 4th or 5th grade. The community service hours were part of that building community. The 4 principals, we all agreed one day at a principals meeting, Ms. Bauer, Mr. Reyes, and Mr. Gonzalez, and I all 4 agreed that we would have certain community service projects to where a student could start in the 5th grade and would be the same community service hours they would be getting all the way through the 12th grade. So we aligned the Feast of Sharing and also the South Padre Island Beach Cleanup. So these students will actually be able to start something in the 4th or 5th grade and continue that same community service all the way up, and it's aligned. Mr. Gonzalez talked to our students one night, and he stressed he wanted the students to take the most rigorous courses available to them. He also stated that it would prepare them better for high school and beyond. And in addition, he encouraged them to become involved with extracurricular activities. He had 3 P's that night, and one of the P's that he talked about was perseverance. And if they took the hardest courses and they were involved in extracurricular activities, they would become more perseverant, and that would help them in their pursuit. Ms. Bauer was also nice enough to come by one night. She talked to the students about the importance of grade point averages. At the moment they walked into that 9th grade academy, they would start a competition of their grade point averages. And that they could not slack off their freshman year and expect to catch up at the end, but they would have to compete from the very beginning. And the neat thing was we could see the parents really attentive into that part about knowing that when they got to that 9th grade, they really needed to stress every A that they possibly could. Mr. Reyes also came by, and he talked and took it to a whole nother step. He said not only did he want them in the most rigorous courses, not only did he want them in extracurricular activities, but he wanted them seeking leadership roles in those extracurricular activities, because that's what the colleges wanted to see, was somebody taking leadership roles. We also wanted to create a roadmap for success. We talked about how the 4 principals came to our campus. We also had the Fraga family come to our campus, and they talked about all that was involved in getting their son accepted into Yale, and they spoke to our students and parents one night. We also, under Dr. Neola's advice, got the college career counselors from Harlingen High School South to come over, and they've actually joined us twice, the very beginning session, and they also came with Mr. Reyes and talked about the importance of leadership, high grades, and community involvement. This is the Fraga family sharing with our students and our parents. This is the career and counselor from Harlingen High School South, and they were sharing with us. These are the parents taking notes, and there's several pictures. And then we had Mr. Santiago Villanueva, our own Harvard graduate, come by, and he talked to our students. Neat thing he taught them was the importance of reading, and writing. He really wanted to emphasize reading. But he also told them something very important that I thought was profound. He said, do not be afraid to dream big. And that was huge for some of our students to hear that. We also wanted the students, and the last bit of this was to work on creating a portfolio. They will encounter this when they begin the 8th grade, possibly the 9th grade. And community service hours were documented and saved in preparation for these electronic portfolios. And so these are students working on those portfolios, researching Princeton, working together as a group, reviewing portfolios, more group work. These are them actually saving the information into what will eventually be their electronic portfolios. And this is a student checking out the campus map of the campus that he wants to attend. These are the community service areas, the Feast of Sharing, the beach cleanup. I just thought that was a really awesome picture. I don't know who took that one, but that's like almost professional grade quality. Stuart rocks. The future of the Ivy project, with Ms. Sanchez and Ms. Juarez's help, I'm sure they're going to take this into the next stratosphere. They took a simple idea and made it into something truly special, and I would be remiss in front of the board if I did not try to clarify to the board. Sometimes as principals, we have a simple idea, and wonderful people come along and take that and push the envelope and make it into something extraordinary. And these two ladies, the district is lucky to have. So in 2016, 2017, the Ivy Project will be available to all of our 4th and 5th grade Kids Care Club members and our 4th and 5th grade gifted and talented students. The project is growing and will continue to grow. And this is the last slide that says, "We are the Ivy Project." Thank you.
Amazing, amazing. Any board members have any comments? Let me just tell you that, you know, it reminds me of a story from the Upper Valley. I believe, I think it's Ed Couch. There's a lot of different stories, but Ed Couch is one in particular, famous, where one teacher decided to go on this mission to get as many students as he could to Ivy League schools, and just by doing what you're doing, starting when they're really young, and of course I think he was a high school teacher, but he would go back to the elementary school students and he would talk to them about it, and because like you said, you have to get them started early, and of course so much of the conversation sometimes up here we talk about early childhood education and how if they're not at grade level by the 2nd grade, the chance of them being college and career ready when they graduate high school, it's basically 10%. It's almost as none. And so, of course, you're trying to do so much more than that. But I guarantee, I mean, what you're doing, even for the students that are interested in this kind of stuff, is going to have a profound effect of the whole culture of the campus. And I know some of the other campuses. You have Vela University. I mean, I think this is present in the whole entire school district. But this is amazing because we have to start at that young age, and for this thing to even be possible. So kudos to you. It's a great concept, and I think it's going to pay huge dividends. So, and your staff as well. They amazing. So, any other comments from the board?
Well, I think it's absolutely wonderful, Bill, and we want to thank you for coming to Harlingen and for the leadership that you're showing on that campus.
Thank you for letting me come to Harlingen.
We're delighted that you're here. Thank you. And certainly we know the people that you're giving credit to. They are extraordinary, have been extraordinary for a long time, and it's just very exciting to see a collaborative approach to a concept that is literally, as Dr. Pettis said, is literally changing the culture of your campus. And we look forward to seeing it replicated all over the district on both sides of town. And I think it's an extraordinary opportunity for children to learn. And you're absolutely right. Not just the Ivies, but the specific Ivies certainly, yes. And I'm a big Ivy person, but extraordinary small programs in great universities all over the nation. It's all about what the students are interested in and the fit, but that won't work if they're not prepared.
Yes.
And so the preparation begins very early. What I see happening is such a love of learning that you're encouraging to. I think the statistics are that if the students haven't developed a love of learning by age 9, it's not impossible, but it goes downhill after that in terms of the ability for us to have the influence on children. So I think being on a campus where they know they have that to look forward to, and being exposed to the other principals, and being exposed to to my goodness, the high school principal who comes over, it's going to be culture changing.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
So I'm really proud of you all.
They were exquisite in donating their times and putting speeches together, and it really changed the way our students were looking at.
It makes all the difference
Yes,
in the
ma'am.
world. It makes all. And Santiago Villanueva, he's very, very gifted, and I'm just thrilled to see him let loose on a campus to do his thing, because he's extraordinarily gifted as well as has the opportunity to be a graduate himself. So yay, way to go, and we're glad you're doing it in Harlingen. Thank you.
Excellent.
Great job. Yeah,
Great job.
Let me say that this presentation, it's different. It's something that parents early on, when our children are young, that's the time in which they begin to decide what they might want to do. And parents obviously want the best for their children.
And Mrs. Bauer, thanks for coming back to your old alma mater, and Stewart. Yes, thank you. But I think that when you look at where we are in public education today, where our children are going to be 8, 10 years from now, the competition, the world. If our children are going to get accepted in those elite schools, they're going to have a different presentation that they currently have. So certainly what you have here is going to give our students the edge. And parents are looking at that. Parents will decide whether they want to send their children to South Texas ISD, whether to send them to a public charter school, or to a private school. But with this kind of idea that you have really developed, it's evolving into something that could become a movement. So Dr. Cavazos, as we look at this even closer, and we know as professionals, you have the young people, young children, you can almost take this on the road. And first we start in-house by giving, I'm looking at my principal back there at Treasure Hills, and I'm saying that, okay, it might not be exactly that, but there are some things that we can do. And the difference that HCISD will have is being very forward, very futuristic, and intentional to bring the very best here for education. I see that. This is it. You touched on something here. And the counselors, the administrators, from the high school to middle school, that's what we really need to do, because we can't do it in isolation. Okay? So I think that though we don't have a big audience here to see this, but I would like to see this duplicated probably with throughout the district, the idea, because you're onto something here that I know as a board member I can say, you can send your child to an elementary school. Stewart Place is one, and they can find out early on and prepare their children for the future, because we really don't know. But I say this was something that was different, but also transformational, I think. Think about it. Think about this. Great job, and let's not let this idea just stop tonight. Dr. Cavazos, I think we're on to something. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Good job, Bill.
Thank
Awesome
you.
work.
Thank you very much. At this time, Mrs. Brown, do we have any public comment? Okay, so no public comments. Now we'll move to item 8E, approval of district innovation resolution. Dr. Noyola.
Dr. Pettis, board members, Dr. Cavazos, senior team, and audience. House Bill 1842 was passed during the 84th Texas legislative session in spring of 2015, and it provided Texas public school districts the opportunity to be designated as districts of innovation. Districts of innovation allows districts to be exempt from a number of state statutes that will provide districts with local control as the decision makers over the educational and instructional programming for students. In addition, it will also empower districts to innovate and think differently. So tonight we bring forward for your consideration and approval a board resolution that would allow our district administration to explore the opportunity of HCISD to become a district of innovation. So at this time, administration recommends approval of the proposed board resolution.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion for approval of making a district of innovation resolution.
I second the motion.
Motion by Dr. Manise, second by Mrs. Fleury, approval of the district of innovation resolution. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously. Item 8F, approval of TSTC dual enrollment memorandum of understanding. Dr. Noyola.
Dr. Pettis, board members, Dr. Cavazos, senior team, and audience. The purpose of the MOU that you have before you outlines the collaboration of HCISD and TSTC in the implementation of the dual enrollment program in compliance with Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board guidelines. While most of the MOU remains consistent to what we've had in the past, there is one change that comes before you that calls for an annual $50 administrative fee per dual enrollment student, as well as a per course cost for any course specifically designed for HCISD. While this is a new expenditure that we have not had in the past, I have to say that in a time where we're seeing a number of districts across the state now being charged full tuition costs for students to take dual enrollment courses, our collaboration with TSTC and the support that they have for our district continues, and they continue to support a full tuition-free opportunity for our kids to take dual enrollment courses at our partnering college. So at this time, administration recommends approval of the memorandum of understanding between TSTC and HCISD.
Do I hear a motion?
Mr. President, I'd like to abstain from this vote. I'm employed at TSCC, and so I just wanted for the record that I will not be voting on item 8F.
Please note for the record, Mrs. Brown. Thank you.
Mr. President, I move approval.
Motion by Mrs. Fleury, second by Dr. Muniz. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. And motion carries unanimously. Please note the abstention again by Mr. De Leon. At this time, we'll go to item 9A, Transforming Teaching and Learning Committee Report. Dr. Cavazos.
Yes, Mr. President, board members, senior team, and audience. We met on May 3rd, 2016 at 5 p.m. To have our Transforming Teaching and Learning Committee meeting. Dr. Nuyola has stolen my thunder because she spoke about the resolution just a minute ago, and I think she summarized it even better than I could. You all don't have to agree, but anyway. So I will say I want to thank publicly Dr. Nuyola and Veronica Cortan for all the work they've done in looking at ways to use this new bill and the District of Innovation options to our benefit to continue to move our transformational efforts. So kudos to them. Also, I'd like to recognize Lori Romero, my administrator for elementary education, and Carmen Alvarez, who is our early literacy coordinator. They brought forth something that has been in development for quite some time, but they have secured a partnership with Nyhouse Education Center to really transform the early literacy space. We will be focusing on phonics-based learning, also highlighting the teaching, reading, and reaching model, which will really begin to address those key elements in the early grades to ensure that students are reading for comprehension and that they are getting the very best quality education. I will tell you that while we could come up with some of the funding, I want to shout out to Nyhouse. They found us some funders to help us fund this project, and this will eventually train over 200 teachers in our district, and we will have a systemic approach for teaching reading and a phonics-based program beginning next year. Lori Romero, thank you for the work you've done, and of course, Carmen Alvarez as well.
Excellent. Dr. Muniz, do you have anything further to add?
Dr. Cavazos pretty much summed it up. The presentations were excellent. And the future looks really great with both these activities. With Nyhouse, it's exciting that we're actually going to be having this training for these teachers. It blew me away when I saw that presentation. So really, really good job.
Excellent. And we lots of exciting stuff with your design teams. I was talking earlier. They're busy. So keep it up. Appreciate you guys. So at this time, we'll go to item 10A, consideration and approval of video surveillance system equipment for the 17 elementary campuses, CSP number VSS P0416 rebid. Mr. Cavazos and Mr. Gracia.
Thank you, Dr. Pettis, Dr. Cavazos, board members. I'm just going to introduce the agenda item. Agenda item 10A is approval of surveillance system. This is another TRE project that we're happy to bring to the board for their review. Mr. Gracia is going to go over the recommendations, so I'm going to hand it over to him.
Good evening, the board president, board members, Dr. Cavazos, staff. We received 10 proposals from 9 different offerors. There was a committee as dictated by the board, comprised of Mr. Cavazos, Mr. Tapia, myself, Mr. Piercy, and Mr. Ken Lee. We ranked the offerors. The ranking was attached for your consideration. Once we arrived at the highest ranking offeror, we went through and thoroughly evaluated their proposal. We ranked Schneider Electric as the highest ranking offerer. We met with them on several occasions. We corresponded back and forth on quite a few comprehensive analysis of their technical issues involved in the proposal. We feel that their proposal, as we negotiated the offer with them, brought to the district a very a super system beyond what we had originally anticipated in the specifications, in the fact that we envisioned that one day we would have a central monitoring station, but it really wasn't part of this proposal, but they included it as part of the proposal. So basically, it's for every elementary campus, having its own file server and its own recording mechanism, all feeding back into a gateway server that feeds into a central monitoring station. That'll be comprised of 4 big monitors, and the 48 terabyte server, I think, will serve the district well. And we make the recommendation for award of proposal to Schneider Electric.
Any questions from the board? I'll just ask if it was is it within budget? I mean, what was the budget item for this?
Originally, we budgeted 650,000.
650.
This is for 598, so it's certainly within the budget.
And it'll be before the next school year. It'll be set up before.
Yes, sir. The agreed to date was August the 1st. They will complete installation and all the technical aspects that goes along with the calibrations and what have you by August.
Excellent, excellent.
Awesome.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion for accepting the rebid and approval of the video surveillance system equipment for 17 elementary campuses.
Second motion.
Motion by Dr. McNeese, second by Mr. McShann. Any further discussion?
I just think Tony's pulled off another one of his miracles. Sounds wonderful.
It was a real team effort on this one.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Hear none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, sir. And at this time, we'll go into item 10B, our internal audit quarterly report. Mrs. Nelly Ledesma, who's been waiting patiently. And awake the whole time, I might add.
Of course.
Thank you, Dr. Pettis, members of the board, Dr. Cavazos, and senior staff members. The Policy Audit Committee and I met earlier this afternoon and heard the following 5 audit reports. A Special Activity Fund audit report for Keys Academy, a report on unannounced cash audits on all campuses of the district, an audit of time and effort documentation, an audit of bank reconciliations, and an audit on UIL Student Activities Department athletic ticket sales and receipts. These reports were discussed with the audit committee and in detail, and I am here to answer any questions you may have, unless Mrs. Fleury would like to elaborate on what we discussed.
Mrs. Fleury, please.
Well, I would just like to report to our board members that we did have a thorough discussion of all of the items that Ms. Ledesma just discussed, and I was very pleased to see that she is continuing with her creativity and is adding new ways of providing the internal auditing service to the district in addition to what she's already been doing. And I think we're already beginning to see the results of that, and I appreciate it and applaud her for what she's doing, and it was a very good report. It was a very positive report. In fact, one of the most positive reports I think we received. So thank you very much. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much for that excellent report. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
At this time, we'll move on to item 11A, approval of revisions to policy update 104, legal and local, and policy DNA local, DNB local, and GRA local on first reading. Mrs. Rosalinda Vargas.
Thank you, Dr. Pettis, Dr. Cavazos, board members. We bring for your consideration possible approval recommendations and revisions regarding update 104 legal and local policy DNA local, performance appraisal evaluation of teachers, DNB local, performance appraisal evaluation of other professional employees, and GRA local, relations with governmental entities on first reading. Update 104 is the second of 2 post-legislative updates focusing primarily on amendments to the administrative code as a result of recent legislation. These policies were thoroughly discussed at our Policy Audit Committee meeting earlier this evening. There was a recommendation made on one policy, which was policy FD local, on page 1 of 3. It's the last paragraph. in the area of participation in extracurricular activities for students not enrolled in the district. We will be seeking guidance from TASB on either administrative guidelines or additional clarity in that area, and bringing that forward on second reading at our next board meeting. Administration recommends approval on first reading. Mrs. Fleurier serves as our committee chairperson and may have additional information to share this evening, and I'll be glad to answer any questions at this time.
Well, we went over every single one of these policy revisions and studied them. I appreciate the fact that Dr. Muniz was in attendance as well, and would ask if he has any comments. He feel free to share those. I particularly appreciate the fact that it was that the presentation that Mrs. Vargas gives to us is not only color-coded, but it's very easy to understand. In my almost 20 years on the board, she has brought this to an entirely new level, and I appreciate that. And as she said, there was discussion about one particular item, not to change how we are doing it in the district, but perhaps to clarify the wording. Otherwise, we accepted everything as presented.
Motion for.
Oh, okay. Do we want a motion to approve on first reading? Okay, I would like to move that we approve the policies as discussed on first reading.
Second the motion.
Motion by Ms. Fleury, second by Dr. Muniz. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously. Item 12A, Facilities Committee Report, Mr. Oscar Tapia.
President Dr. Pettis, members of the board, Dr. Cavazos. We had a Facilities Committee meeting on May 3rd. We discussed some local projects. We got an update on the logo proposal for Loop 49 Water Tower from Mr. Shane Strupart gave a report. We also discussed some proposed city improvements that the City Parks Department wants to do at our Bonham Park. We also discussed the proposed TSTC Early College Building Up Partnership project that we're working with TSTC with. And then we discussed some remaining bond projects. Basically, the Aquatic Center gave an update as to where we are. They're working with the bond company. And also, we're getting ready to rebid the old Memorial Repurpose Administration Building project here next door. And then TRE updates, the school security cameras, which was just approved right now. We gave an update on that. And then we discussed the athletic track field repairs, the re-roofing, AC upgrades at Harlingen High and Milam, lighting projects district-wide at elementary schools, and we basically reported that all contracts have been signed with the designers. They're doing field work and hopefully get those plans ready for bid in a couple of months. And Julio Cavazos gave a report on the funds, construction funds and other projects financial report. Are there any questions?
Any questions? Mr. Powers, do you want?
I just want to add that one of the things I think you touched on is we talked about the repairs to the tracks at our elementary, which I think is, y'all are doing a great job in evaluating that and bringing to the board's attention the condition that they're in. And I think you're approaching it with the right direction, going after the elementary schools first, because they the middle schools, excuse me, because they desperately need it. And the other schools can, we'll be okay for another couple years. And also I want to compliment Oscar, your staff, and Shane's on working on the water tower, making that's a great opportunity for our district and to advertise our logo. And y'all are redesigning that to make it economically feasible is a great idea. Thank you.
And the cardinal is too small, is that what you said? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay, so that was, okay, no action. Now we'll go into item, 13. Adjournment to close our executive session pursuant to Texas Government Code Sections 551.071, 551.072, 074, and 082, the Open Meetings Act for the following purposes. 13A, discuss purchase of real estate. 13B, discuss employment of dyslexia 504 specialist. 13C, discuss employment of principal, Keys Academy. And 13D, discuss employment of teachers and other professional staff. We are now in executive session. It is 10, I guess 18, 17, what do you want to say, 17? Whatever. We are now back in open session for actions on matters discussed in executive session. Item 14A, consideration and possible action regarding the purchase of real estate.
Mr. President, I move that we take the action that was discussed and grant the superintendent the authority that was talked about in executive session.
Motion by Mr. Powers. Second by Mr. McShann. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously. Item 14B, consider employment of dyslexia 504 specialist.
President, make a motion to consider the employment of the dyslexia 501 specialist as recommended in executive session.
Second the motion. Sorry. Second the motion.
Motion by Mr. De Leon, second by Dr. Muniz. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously. Item 14C, consider employment of Keys Academy principal.
President, I move approval of employment of the Keys Academy principal as recommended by the administration.
Second.
Motion by Mr. McShann, second by Mr. Powers. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Item 14D, consider employment of teachers and other professional staff.
Mr. President, I move approval of employment of teachers and other professional staff as recommended by administration.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Fleury, second by Mr. Powers. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously. Mrs. Fleury and second by Mr. Powers. Was that right?
Correct.
Okay, Fleury.
No,
and
by
Powers.
Mr.
Bobby.
Oh, I apologize. Sorry, Dr. Muniz. I apologize. Thank you for the.
Strike a great name.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Meeting is adjourned.